Have you ever found yourself looking into someone's eye, and though they smiled, nodded, or even told you that they were proud of you, something inside you felt off? It wasn't the words they spoke, nor the smile they wore. It was something deeper, something unspoken. You felt that eerie twist in your gut, as if your soul was whispering, this person doesn't mean it. It's not that there was any direct proof to point to. No fight, no betrayal, no obvious red flags. On the surface, everything seemed fine, but beneath it all, their energy felt wrong. Their applause seemed hollow. Their laughter sounded rehearsed. You rise, excited to share a moment of success, only to see them hesitate for just a fraction of a second before they awkwardly pretend to clap. In that instant, you feel it. And over time, you start to wonder. Maybe it's not just in your head. Maybe you're not seeing things. Carl Jung called it ado, the dark, hidden part of our psyche that we often ignore because it's too uncomfortable to confront. It hides behind fake smiles, polite words, and empty cheers. But within it lies envy, resentment, and an unspoken competition. And if you ignore that gut feeling, that instinctive whisper telling you something's off, eventually you'll pay the price for your emotional health, your mental peace, and sometimes even physically. Because when hate wears the mask of love, it doesn't stab you in the back. It quietly drains you while pretending to embrace you. I didn't understand this at first. I ignored those whispers, thinking maybe I was overreacting. But over time, the signs became clear. And today, I want to share those signs with you. These are 8 disturbing signs that someone in your life might secretly despise you. Not dislike, not envy, but truly hate you. The kind of hate that festers in the background while they smile and tell you how proud they are. Most people don't see these signs until it's too late, until they've been betrayed, used, or emotionally broken. But if you stick with me until the end, I promise sign number 8 will change the way you read people forever. Let me start with sarcasm. We've all heard it. You're too sensitive. Relax, I was just joking. It seems harmless at first, casual, playful even, but it cuts deeper every time it's said. What if I told you those aren't jokes at all? What if they're actually weapons wrapped in a smile, designed to lose the harm? Sarcasm isn't always innocent. Sometimes they know your insecurity, your weight, your past mistakes, your history, and they poke at them again and again while everyone else laughs. And the worst part, if you react, if you stand up for yourself, you become the problem. You chill out, they'll say. Utterly so dramatic. But let's call it what it is. Emotional manipulation. Carl Jung once said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. And what they don't understand, they make you bear. Their sarcasm isn't comedy, it's contempt, and their laughter is just a camouflage. If their jokes always sting, if you find yourself laughing with everyone else, but crying alone later, that's not friendship, that's psychological warfare. They're not joking. They're slowly, skillfully hurting you without leaving a mark. Then there's the subtle sabotage, the kind of behavior that doesn't seem malicious at first, but slowly or over time starts to feel like a knife in your back. Ever had that friend who forgot to mention something important, something that could have changed everything for you? Or maybe they gave you advice that ended up making things worse. They missed your big moment. They didn't show up when it mattered. And every time they claimed to be too busy, you chalked it up to coincidence. But after the third or fourth time, you begin to wonder, maybe this isn't just badness. Maybe it's intentional, and that's the scariest part. It's sabotage disguised as care. Jung warned us that people who feel inferior often try to lower others rather than raise themselves. And if someone keeps you small, keeps dimming your light, keeping you stuck, what they're really doing is controlling you. They don't want to see you win. Your success reminds them of where they're stuck, and they'll do anything to keep you from growing, even if it means pretending to be your friend. They'll pretend to encourage you even while their actions hold you back. They know exactly what they're doing, and they know how to make it look like they're just being helpful. In reality, they're subtly sabotaging your growth, trying to keep you small so they don't feel threatened. If you notice someone constantly undermining your progress, feeding your self-doubt, or missing your big moments, it's not care they're offering, it's control. And then there's the silent competition. I've shared good news before, a new job, a small win, and expected to be met with joy. But instead, I've watched as the focus shifted immediately to them. Oh yeah, Well, guess what I just did? It wasn't about celebrating my success. It was about making sure their success looked better. Even when they pretended to be happy for me, it was clear that they saw my rise as a challenge to their own worth. They didn't want to share in my happiness. They wanted to outshine it. Every moment felt like a subtle battle, even though I didn't ask. Every victory of mine felt like a silent war to them, and I could see it in their eyes. Carl Jung's insight rings true here. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But rather than reflecting on their own feelings, they compete with mine. They don't see my growth as something to celebrate. They see it as something to challenge. They're not happy for me because they're too busy measuring themselves against me. And this isn't a friendship, it's ego resting in disguise. I've also encountered the fake kindness, the kind of kindness that looks warm on the outside but feels cold on the inside. They say the right words, I'm proud of you, so happy for you. But when I look into their eyes, no warmth, no true emotion, just a hollow echo of what they think I want to hear. Genuine people don't just say they care. They show up when it matters. They're present in both your highs and your lows. But fake, they disappear when you need them most, and even when they're around, their energy feels off. Their kindness feels like an auto reply, empty, robotic, and insincere. Jung called this ego dissociation, radiation, the inability to truly connect with others to their own truth. They're not capable of loving anyone because they're not capable of loving themselves. They're walking through life, saying the right things, but never giving what really matters. Presence, empathy, connection. If someone's kindness feels like an act, if their warmth is only surface level, then you're not in a real friendship. You're in a performance. There's also the manipulation, just want to keep you safe. I'm just trying to look out for you. It sounds harmless at first, but there's a catch. Deep inside, something doesn't sit right. You start to feel smaller, your excitement fades, your voice trembles when you defend your choices. What they call a care is actually control. They don't scream or fight. They slowly manipulate, whispering their doubts, their fears into your mind. They make you second-guess yourself until you're no longer trusting your own intuition, but relying on them for validation. Jung said that people who can't control their own chaos try to control others. And that's exactly what they do. They want to feel safe by dominating you. They don't believe in your growth. They believe in keeping you under their control. They don't let you make decisions. They condition you to rely on them. And soon, you're not making choices based on your own desires. You're asking for their permission. This isn't love, it's possession. And when someone's concern always leaves you feeling weak, doubtful, and dependent, it's time to take a step back and ask yourself, is this truly care? Or is it just manipulation wearing a mask of kindness? And then there's gossip, the poison people spread when you're not around. It's subtle, insidious, and often goes unnoticed or too late. You walk into a room and suddenly the energy shifts. People smile, but it's not genuine. They glance at you, then look away. Something's been said behind your back. Someone has poisoned your image. And the worst part, you may never hear the words they're saying, but you'll feel the effect. Because gossip doesn't attack your action. It attacks your character. It twists your words, makes people question your intentions and others against you, all while they smile in your face. But the truth is, gossip speaks more about the person spreading it than about the one being talked about. Carl Jung was right. The brighter your light, the darker your shadow becomes in the eyes of others. People who are insecure can't handle someone who owns their truth. So instead of trying to rise with you, they try to bring you down. But remember this, gossip isn't a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. They're also the people who can't rejoice in your success, the ones who stood by you in your darkest moments, but can't celebrate with you when you start to rise. They were there when you were struggling, when everything seemed broken. But as soon as you begin to glow, they disappear. Your success makes them feel threatened. It reminds them of everything they haven't achieved, everything they've neglected in their own lives. That's like pure light forces them to face their own shadow. Carl Jung said that if someone cannot rejoice in your joy, they're battling internal war. And when they can't celebrate with you, It's because your growth makes them feel like they're falling behind. It's heartbreaking when you realize that the ones who stood with you through your pain can't walk beside you through your progress. Finally, body language never lies. They may say all the right words. Their smile may be wide, but your body is always speaking. If their presence feels heavy, if their words sound forced, if their touch feels cold, trust. The body doesn't lie, even when the mind tries to mask the truth. If your gut tells you something's off, it's not wrong. It's a sign that they're not truly for you, even though they said it. And when the body speaks louder than their words, time to